My name's Alex. I am a CrossFit Games athlete. I started working with frog grips officially about 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, but I've been using their grips for the past probably like 6 months. It's been really great.
That looked awful.
It was hard. I'm from a small town in Oregon called Hood River. It's about an hour east of Portland. It's one of those things you don't realize growing up, but it was like a very cool place to live. It's well known for like kiting tourism and skiing, and it's kind of turning into like a Vail like situation, so it's a little more touristy now, but it's really beautiful. It's an agriculture town, so lots of orchards, waterfalls, hiking, very outdoorsy. Very cold in the winter, but yeah, from a small town. I ended up here because I got married when I was 18, and my husband worked for his family, and his family kind of moved here on a whim because they just liked Vegas, and so he followed suit, and then we did long distance for a bit. But so I was here for like a couple weeks, and I was like, hey, I need to find like a gym or a job. Like at this point, like I was feeling kind of lonely because I didn't know anyone yet. And I had gone to a couple CrossFit affiliates that I'd seen online, like took my resumes, and on my way home, so this gym was in a slightly different location, like another street. And on my way home, I saw like the sign for Camp Rhino. And I think originally I didn't like gravitate towards it because it didn't say CrossFit, so I didn't know. But it was kind of my last stop on the way home, and I met with Kalen. I think he's actually in the background somewhere. But I met with him on the spot, and we chatted and hit it off, and been here since. So I wanted to coach, so I asked if they had any positions for me to do a couple of classes, and then I started working out with them. I would join the 12:30 class or like do a little extra here or there, but yeah, just kind of dove into the community side of it. I knew I wanted to make the games for like before I moved to Vegas. I just didn't kind of know, I didn't have a timeline, I wasn't rushing it, and I also didn't really have an understanding of what that training looked like yet. So a group of my friends followed a template forged by Zeus, and I followed that with them, but I cherry picked it. So like I didn't do the conditioning because I just thought it was kind of stupid. I didn't want to. So I would do like a Metcon, strength piece, maybe a skill, and like a couple bicep curls or like accessories. But my training was like one session. Like I didn't really do 2 sessions ever. And yeah, it was mainly just like fun, and like did some local comps, like all working towards that goal, but just a lot more casually. So when I moved here, I was just kind of doing, like I said, the template, training with the crew here, and then Carrie Pierce moved here with Justin, and I like caught wind of it, got a connection to hang out with her, and so I would go like 2 days a week to their gym and get my ass handed to me, and that was kind of like where I was like, oh, like, okay, this is what like a full day of training looks like, and like I need to be a part of this, essentially. And so I started going more and more. I made my first semifinal that year. And then that following season, I was like, hey, like, Justin, will you coach me? And like, I just kind of went full in. That was like 2021. I was really spoiled in my introduction to CrossFit. The first affiliate that I was introduced to was owned by 3 Games athletes. And I was 16, almost 17 at the time. And they like watched me do a couple things, and they were like, you could be really good. And I was like, oh, like, okay. And I had just kind of understood what competing in CrossFit looks like. Like I saw the games documentaries, and then I saw there was a teenage division. So I was like, oh, sick, like I want to do that. Granted, I didn't understand like how much skill and everything's involved in CrossFit. So I missed the games by a few spots as a teenager. And they were like, don't even worry about it. Just like think about the big picture. Like, we don't know when, but you can make it as an individual. And so I kind of always had that in the back of my head. And the nice thing about it was I didn't have a timeline. So you get people that are like, oh, like I need to make the games now, or I just had no expectations. And so I think that really helped facilitate like a healthy intro into training. I'll kind of back it up to like the winter. I tore my rotator cuff last year at Rogue, partially, like no surgery or anything, just like PRP and rehab. And I kind of just felt like we had been having such a hard time like getting into the groove of training just with injuries and all this stuff. And like February rolls around, like things just are starting to feel good, like February, March. And it was kind of one of those things where I was like, okay, like things are lining up. Like we're doing what we need to do. Like I feel good. And WFP was new. Like we didn't really know what to expect, but in my mind, like you're lined up with some of the best athletes in the field. And like, that's, when you line up next to them, like you're trying and it's going to be a competition. So we put our best foot forward for that. And like I trained really hard and I ended up winning the first tour. And it was kind of like, okay, like the pieces are falling into place. Like I saw improvement in running and things that I've been working really hard on. So that was really exciting. To peak for WFP and like manage the game season, we kind of decided to get rid of online semifinals and just do NorCal. A little bit more of a riskier move, but like we just trusted that if we do what we need to do, we should be able to qualify. And we went to NorCal and I ended up winning NorCal. Again, things just like feeling like they were lining up, but not even like in the like a boasting kind of way, like, oh, like I'm the shit. More just like everything that we were working was showing. And honestly, I felt really good. Like I felt like I was primed to finally kind of fill the shoes that like Justin had laid out for me, if you will. 2 days after NorCal, Jake and I had gone camping just to kind of like decompress, and on our way home, we got in a bad car accident. I fractured my fibula. Honestly, like the day of, like I was kind of still hopeful, like not that I could compete at the games for a top spot, but that I could go. A fibula fracture is like 4 to 6 weeks. It's a non-weight bearing bone. So on the surface, it didn't seem that serious. And then I just feel like every day after that was like a curveball. Like I ended up having like glass in my eye that I had to go get removed. My leg was like not moving. And then so I ended up finding out I had nerve damage. I had 3 really big hematomas that were pressing on the nerve that runs from here down. So I couldn't do this with my foot at all. So I had what's called like drop foot. And with nerves, you never know how long it's going to take. And it kind of just, it was slow. So then it was okay, like the games is not going to happen. Like it is what it is. Started making a lot of progress, but then I think because of compensating from having that drop foot, like I started to have like a quad issue and like IT band issue. So just kind of one of those really slow progressing things. The next WFP rolled around, just didn't feel ready for that. So withdrew. And then I was like, okay, like Rogue, like I really want to be ready for Rogue. And I think I am. Like I can't say I'm going to show up and be like my fittest self, but I can show up and be healthy. And I think the things that I've been able to train are still there and feel really good. And I might get my ass handed to me if there's some heavy thrusters and stuff, but it is what it is.
That's kind of cool.
I think when you get wrapped up into the competing world, you'll see a workout and you're like, oh man, like this is gonna be so hard. Like what if I have to break here? What if I lose? What if I get like last place? Or just the thoughts that go through your mind. And then this accident like really gave me the perspective of like, it's just a workout. And like, if you're healthy and you have the ability to do the workout and to be at a competition, like it's not that deep. Like you get to do it. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not gonna fake it and say the nerves will be gone and I'm just gonna be happy-go-lucky. Like I'm sure they're still there, but I definitely think now I can look back and just like go into the next events like just a little more opportunistic rather than like pressury, if that makes sense. I don't want to say people overhyped me, but it felt like that. Like, oh, like you're gonna be the best. And I'm just like, okay, like I don't feel that yet. Like I see what you're saying, but like I don't walk onto the floor and just like feel like, okay, like yeah, like I could win. And I started to feel like that. And it just was like this cool, like, all right, like I can hang with the best. And seeing the games, like I really felt like I could have maybe been on the podium. And I don't really like to say things like that, like woulda, shoulda, coulda, like who knows, maybe I would have got 10th or 5th, like who knows. But it just like felt like it could have been a good year. So since the accident, like everything that I can do, like I want to get back to that feeling. So. Yeah, so for Justin, obviously, like now he can kind of step back from the business side of things with underdogs and kind of spreading himself thin to more just doing what he loves, which is coaching, helping people. Obviously, he's still invested in my stuff, so he's still going to be my like coach, and we're going to work together. For me, it just is like more of a crew, right? Like you have more of a support system, more of a corner, if you will, and HWPO is a great corner to have. You need something, they make it happen. More so than me, like Matt and Justin and O'Keefe are like we're gonna win and like that's what we're here for. I'm a little bit more, I think like, hey, I wanna have some fun, like it's not that serious. But I think having them in my corner with that attitude, like it definitely helps you get where you need to go. I think with Justin, like I think as a coach, like where he brings the most value is like his passion for his athletes. Like sometimes to a fault, we're both so emotional, like we're like either crying or upset at each other, but like that care is so deep. And so like, you know that like he's doing everything that he thinks is best for you and vice versa. And yeah, just knowing how much he cares, like on the floor, like you hear him and like strategy, like he's so invested. It's really cool. And programming wise, like he's just like straightforward. Like he doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. It's like you kind of know what you're getting, but it works. It's like this consistency over time. Yeah, wisdom wise, I can't really necessarily think of a specific thing, but just like his passion and the way he cares is what sets him apart for sure. Yeah, I mean, we like have an awesome Ali, Raph, Omer, like that's kind of our crew right now. There's us 4. Everyone's a little bit kind of, we've all been scattered for the past year, if I'm being honest, like between my injuries, their injuries. Allie's working with a different coach right now, so we're all over the place, but just like the support and the encouragement is what really matters. Like we're all there for each other. The actual like community here, so like all the coaches, the members, they're awesome. And when I was hurt, I actually was just doing a lot of classes, and that was super fun. But I'm a lot more intrinsically motivated than, like, I don't rely on like, oh, I need to beat this person or like, I need to chase this person. To me, sometimes that stresses me out more than it helps. So I just like having people to suffer with. Like if you're doing the same workout as me, like that motivates me enough. Yeah. Honestly, it's just one of those anomaly things, I think. I am curious from a scientific perspective. I did it young. Like my dad was into bodybuilding and I like messed around with it when I was like 12 or 13. And then like in high school, we had the lifting class. So I was doing it then. And I don't know if it's just that like predisposition to it. So your like muscle fibers are like ready. That's kind of my like scientific theory. Yeah, bench press, there's really no rhyme or reason. It just 270? Yeah. A couple years ago? Yeah. We don't train bench very often. Like, yeah, I benched in Vermont because Rogue announced that we were gonna have it, so I benched then. And then I'll do some dumbbell bench and accessory, but I haven't barbell benched once after my accident, and that was it. So, not very often. Yeah, it's very random. It's not something I can bank on. It's like a party trick that if it comes out, I'm like, all right. Yeah, this is like sexist, but I feel like guy sports would be so fun. Like it'd be so cool to be like a hockey player, NFL player, just like A, because it's an exciting sport, but then B, like financially, like just way better. Yeah, I like team sports. I wish I was like amazing at gymnastics or something else like that, but I grew up playing lacrosse and like I love sports, like team sports, and so that'd be really fun. That's a great question. I originally wanted to, so my lifting teacher in high school, like my PE teacher, I was like, his job is cool. Like he just like helps kids lift and then like you have time off. I thought that'd be really cool. Granted, financially, I don't know what that like really looks like. I don't know. Now, like I would love to be a stay-at-home mom, real honestly, like if we have a family, but I've thought about maybe studying acupuncture when I'm done with this, like Chinese medicine. I think that's cool. I find all that stuff super fascinating and I love physical therapy stuff. I just don't love all the like prereq stuff for school. So if I could bypass like the pointless classes and then just like hands-on study, I would totally do it. But I have a hard time putting my foot down for the other stuff. If it's CrossFit related, I would say just don't rush a lot of things. Like injuries are gonna happen, setbacks are gonna happen, you're gonna get sick, and like a few days off is not gonna kill you. But pushing through those things will lead to like a lot worse of problems. And then not rushing like technique, like don't build up heavy until you got it. Cause like I kind of bypassed a lot of that stuff for a bit and I wish I would have spent more time early on and just fixed things. So that's like a more like technical answer. The philosophical answer would be just like, no one really cares that much. Like you're overthinking everything. No one's really thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. So like, don't take it too seriously and just have fun, because that's really what's important. Being more of my job has kind of detached me from it a little more. I think before it was my job, it was a little more weight to it, like, oh, how many likes do you get, yada, yada. And now I've just kind of like, it's given me this perspective of like, it's all fake. And it's just a way for people to see what you're doing and see what your life is. I really don't like social media. If I could, I wouldn't use it. I would just try to be present, but yeah, social media is tricky. I think there's a lot of pressure to make your life look a certain way, and I'll see something of a 13-year-old, I'm like, they're 13? It's crazy. Luckily, Instagram kind of became a thing when I was in like middle school, but like it was so naively innocent. Like we would post pictures of our shoes and be like, look at my shoes. Like it was, or if you had like 2 likes, you're like, oh my gosh, like I got 2 likes. And then I think it started to change into like, you cared and it was how you got attention, and yeah, I don't know. It's a slippery slope, but it can be cool if it's like just supplemental to your life. I think it's a bummer in the sense of all the messiness kind of inhibits the growth of CrossFit. When I started, I didn't know any of the political sides of CrossFit. I just was at my affiliate, I saw the games, I thought it was dope. Now I think it's really hard to grow as a sport. Like, even if you look at it from a social media perspective, like the engagement on the CrossFit Games Instagram, like all the athletes from like 2014 through like 2018, 2019, like they were able to build a brand from those years, even if they weren't podium athletes. Like if they were top 10, top 15, like they built brands for themselves. And now like there's only been a few athletes I think that have been able to do that since. And it wasn't necessarily just from CrossFit, it was just from their like presence on social media. So I hope something happens to like grow the sport so it can be a successful route for athletes to have a brand. And just for it to grow like community-wise, sport-wise. But it's a hot mess right now, I think. I was like the one that like our affiliate would post the workouts like 5 p.m. the night before. At like 4:59, you're like waiting to see it. Yeah, so I hope it gets back to that where people are excited. I feel like CrossFit, like you saw it a lot more places, like in like Dick's Sporting Goods, like you saw like the CrossFit gear. And I just feel like it's really not around many places anymore. Hopefully there's a way to make it more palatable or just get more people into CrossFit so more people know. I don't know. Yeah. I want to try. I don't know. Granted, you have to be healthy. That's like the first and foremost thing. So like the games is far away and it's a lot can happen between then. I think that if I am healthy and I have good training blocks, I can do very well. That's what I'll say. It depends how tired I am. On like a day where I feel completely zonked, like I'll wake up, eat, just read on the couch, maybe sauna, ice bath, but just stay home and like rot. If I have more energy or like people are in town, for example, like today, like we'll go to Red Rock, dink around. If I have like pressing errands like groceries or stuff I gotta do, I'll do that. But Monday is like my true rest day. I try to just chill. A typical training day, I'll wake up. Typically I'll have like a cardio piece of sorts, like monostructural. So I'll do that with my skill, go back home, eat, relax, come back in, do a lifting piece, both like Oli and then just like a strength component, a Metcon, accessory. That's kind of usually the flow. Yeah. We're gonna go for a drive and then we'll get out, walk around a couple areas, drive, walk around. So it's like a loop, it's like a 30-minute loop, and there's different trails. Like you could theoretically hike if you wanted to, but there's different spots that look a little different around Red Rock, so you can get out, kind of like, let's scramble and you like go around the rocks and stuff. You can hike as much or as little as you want. I will be hiking little.